Humanity, I love you all. I want you to know that. I love you, humanity. I love you very much. I love you. Today's message is about true self dimensions. I tried to do the video earlier, but for some reason the video didn't really get saved by my computer, but that's okay. It doesn't matter because that's just what happens sometimes. Sometimes you just have to do it again. It's part of life. There's no problems whatsoever. When things of this nature happens, it simply means that you have to do it again. That's just the way it is. So, and I like to start by saying that we're infinite energy. This is who we are. We humans are infinite energy. This is who we are. It's our nature. We're infinite. There's no doubt about that. We're infinite energy. If you look at the cosmos, the galaxy, the solar system, to make a better point, even a closer point, our sun is right here. He gives us light. He creates the conditions for us to inhabit the earth. In fact, there will be no earth without the sun. The sun created us. He created the conditions for us to live here. And what's the sun? The sun is energy. It's this source of energy, of this infinite thing which is existence, creation, eternity. There is an infinite number of stars out there. There's an infinite number of suns. Our sun is just the one that we have here. Our sun is the one that we have here. Just so you know, for future references, every time that my feed starts to get a little bit blurry or buffery for any reason, I'll keep on repeating myself, because that means that this is an important message and it has to be repeated and repeated enough times until the feed doesn't get buffery anymore. So that's just the way it is. We're infinite. We're infinite people. We're infinite creation. That's who we are. That's why we came here. Because we're infinite. We're infinite in nature. That's who we are. That's who we are. We're infinite energy. We're light beings. The human race is a benevolent race. It's in our nature. And I'm going to explain this to you in a very simple way. True self-boundaries. This image that I'm going to talk to you about, it's on my website, on my Substack, on my YouTube channel already. It's true self-boundaries. You can refer to it anytime you like. So the way it is, the way it works, is that true self starts with us. There's a point. We're energy. We're electromagnetic. We're electrical. That's just the way it is. Our heart is electrical. The heartbeat is magnetic. It creates this force field around us, around the human body. This force field that is created around the human body through the heartbeat creates life, creates us. Our heartbeat allows us to exist, to be alive, to be here today. So you gotta think about the implications of what that means. You have to think about the implications of what that means. So if the sun created us, and the sun is this beaming energy, that's part of the infinite energy of creation, which is existence, reality, and we got the sun that created lives here on earth, and we exist as a result of the sun. And we are alive in a biological body that requires a heartbeat to exist. And it happens to be the case that this heartbeat is electrical, and it generates a force field, an electromagnetic field around the human body. This is not a coincidence, humanity. This is not random. Biology is not random. We are highly intelligent beings. The DNA is an extremely advanced technology. Biology is infinite, you see, because it's part of infinity. We all one, we all part of it. So the heartbeat creates this field around us. And what's the heart if it's not emotion, if it's not feeling? We love with our hearts. And we are alive because of our hearts, which means that it's in our nature to love. Our nature is to be loving, to be a benevolent species, to be a benevolent race. That's who we are. This is our nature. The human condition. I'll repeat that one more time because there is a buffering. This is our nature. Our nature is to be loving. We are a benevolent species. We are a benevolent race. We love. That's what we do. It's our instinct. Why? Because we're energy. Because our heartbeat is electrical and magnetic, and life was created by energy, which means to love is to live. Because life is love. Because the heartbeat is life, and we love with our hearts. So love and heart and energy are one, which is part of infinity and who we are. So in reality, we're infinite energy, and we have the ability as sentient beings to love infinitely, for infinite love, to create infinite love, to manifest infinite love. Because true self is who you are. Why you're here is your purpose. But you need to know who you are so you can be clear about your purpose here on this planet, on this earth, our republic. We are the citizenry of earth. We humans are here for a reason. And that reason is to love, because that's our nature, our heartbeat. That's who we are. We're infinite energy, we're infinite love. We're a benevolent species. That's who we are, that's our true nature. So, boundaries. Just like the electromagnetic field generated by the heartbeat and the resonance that comes as a result of these waves that are created from the heartbeat, signaling life, signaling love, us, humanity, who we are. Because we make love, so we create life. So this is all connected. There are no coincidences here. This is biology. This is just the way it is. So this is a very simple concept, but very powerful because it determines our destiny. It determines who we are. The reason why we incarnated in the flesh in the first place, to understand this very basic principle of unity, that we all one, that we're infinite biology, that we're infinite energy, that we're infinite love, and it all comes together in the human body, in the flesh. And the way we activate that mechanism is through self-love, because the true self is us. Who am I? Who are you? Who we are. Earth, humanity, the republic, the citizenry, humans on earth today. This is who we are, our true selves. But each individual has its own journey, its own way about it, understanding this mechanism, this truth, this logical, deductive mechanism of common sense. So the boundaries start with you, because we're electric, we're magnetic, we're energy, expands outwardly. So if you understand this notion of infinite outward expansion through boundaries and waves of creation, then you understand the concept in the image of true self boundaries and what it represents, what it means. So everything starts with love. In this case, we're talking about the true self, so it's self-love. Love for ourselves, us, the individual, smallest unit in society, us. Starts with us, then it goes everywhere. But it starts with us first. Self-love, the love that we have for ourselves. The love that we have for ourselves as individuals. Loving all what it is that makes you, loving yourselves, loving ourselves, infinite love, loving each and single one of ourselves, our existence, our creation, loving us with all our hearts, understanding that we're here for a reason, a beautiful reason. The human experience is an incredible thing. It is. It's just the way it is. It's amazing. We incarnated in the flesh, we're here for a reason, for a purpose, and it's to understand this idea that we're all one, that we're infinite energy. And the way it starts is with self-love. Loving yourself, because when you love yourself and you learn what it means and you feel good about yourself and who you are and your purpose and your actions, your true self, then you learn what is required to love others. It starts with us, with the individual, with me, with you, self-love, but then that process moves forward. So you can learn, when you love yourself, truly love yourself and accept yourself the way you are, then you can love others. It's a self-referencing mechanism. It's a self-referencing mechanism. When you love yourself, you have the tools required to love others. That's just the way it is. It has to do with empathy and all these things that I spoke in the previous video about dimensions, the humanity of it all, humane activities. Being humble, humility is what makes us who we are, is what makes us human. It's in the name, human, humility, humbleness, being humble, being humane, because it's in our nature to be good. To be human is to be good, is who we are. Because we're self-love, we're infinite energy. The heartbeat proves that. I'll repeat that one more time. The heartbeat proves that. So that's just the way it is. It will never change. It will forever be like that. Because that's just biology. And we are human bodies. So, starts with self-love, then you can love others. And the beauty of this cycle is that when you start loving yourself in a real, meaningful, and powerful way, what that does is that you start to discover who you are. And that's the second boundary of infinite expansion, infinite awareness, infinite boundaries of true self. And that boundary is self-discovery. So when you love yourself, you have the ability to learn about who you are because you're not being judgmental anymore about who you are. You accept who you are, how you are, the way you are. And when that happens, then this powerful feedback loop, positive feedback loop, reinforcing mechanism, as feedback loop mechanism that is built in ourselves, is a virtuous cycle. Once you truly love yourselves and accept who you are, then you can really, without a judgment, of who you are, then you can start to discover who you are. Self-discovery. The inner journey, the journey within, to the soul, to the deepest of your memories, your existence, the inner self, the inner voice, your inner fire, who you are. Who you are. And that's just the way it is. So self-discovery is that mechanism that comes as a result of self-love. It's a natural mechanism. They just come hand in hand. Self-love leads to self-discovery. And when you start to learn about yourself and who you are, that's when the beauty of true self starts to really manifest, because then you understand that, hey, you're here for a reason. You know who you are. You're not just here coincidentally. This is not random. Biology is not random. It's a highly organized structure. It's an organizing agent. Biology is the human being and the human race and our species is an incredible species. Our biology is incredible. It's infinite. We have an ability to evolve infinitely. The evolutionary biology is synonym with infinite evolution. It's just the way it is, because it's the nature of existence. Everything is infinite. It's just the way reality is. So when you understand this concept, then you start to go inside and you really learn about yourself, and you get excited about your true self and who you are, discovering who you are, learning about all sorts of things about who you are. And that leads to a natural step. And that step is self-awareness. It's this third boundary that you generate energetically around you, this force field of creation, guided by self-love through our heartbeat. And that's self-awareness. So self-awareness is what makes us human in a way. Truly, love is what determines our nature. And the discovery of that nature is what helps us understand who we are. And we understand who we are through self-awareness. Because self-awareness is this mechanism, again, like all these mechanisms, they're infinite feedback loops. You see, they reinforce each other because it's electrical, it's magnetic. The old part of it is a mechanism that never ends, it's eternal. It's just the way it is. It's energy, it's infinite energy. So self-awareness is this mechanism that we have. And self-awareness is nothing else but really understanding who we are. Knowledge about ourselves, how we react, how we act, why we do what we do, how we do what we do, when, where. Our engagement with society. You know, in the previous video about the 10 dimensions of the true self, I spoke about this concept of empathy, emotional intelligence, and what it means, what it represents. And emotional intelligence is this concept, this idea of having tact, having humanity, having a heart-to-heart engagement with others, understanding where they're coming from. And the reason why you can do that is because you love yourself, so you have the ability and the power to love others now, because we're all human, we're the same race, we're the same species. And because we have this innate instinct within us to relate, then as a result of that, self-awareness allows us to have the mechanisms inside us to be able to relate with others and understand ourselves and the way we react and interact with others. So I'll repeat this one more time. The way we interact and react to one another